Welcome to the 2018 assignment-based contact classes. This is professional and community development, and I'll be taking you through what you need to prepare for the assignment in order for you to qualify for the exam. Let's just look at the overview of the presentation. We'll look at things that you need to take note of. Look at the aim of assignment-based contact classes, purpose of the assignment. I've also included cautions or warnings based on the previous experiences with student assignments. So look at time management. Then we'll also have some examples of poor assignments by students, not entire assignments, just extracts of examples. We'll then look at steps to write a good assignment. We'll look at verbs used in the assignment, technical aspects, general instructions, and then we'll conclude. So what is it that we need students to take note of? 3 things. You need to do 1 assignment per semester in order to create a semester continuous assessment mark. It's very important that you need to do your assignment and make sure that you do it so well, because that is what will allow you to qualify for the exam. The assignment is out of 120, and questions marks usually range between 10 to 15 marks. Remember that your semester assignment mark is 40% of your overall, your total mark for the subject. So what is the aim of the assignment-based contact classes? First of all, what I'm doing is providing you students with an overview of the structure of the assignment, and then to provide you with guidance on how to approach the assignment. We've noticed in the past that students keep doing seemingly simple mistakes, but then we also realize it's because we have overlooked some of these mistakes and we have not addressed them. So we tried in these contact-based classes to look at a lot of errors that students commit that leads them to lose marks. So what is the purpose of the assignment? First of all, assignments are theory-based. They are theory-based and they are aimed at preparing students for the exams. Secondly, the assignment is in line with the prescribed content. So you will not be asked anything that is not within the guide. Now, sometimes we find students going on the internet and copying and pasting from other sources and without considering what's on the guide. So first thing, you need to familiarize yourself with the assignment, with the guideline, with the guide of the subjects, professional and community development. Thirdly, the assignment allows you to demonstrate your understanding of the content. The other purpose of the assignment is that understanding, applying, and analyzing information is basically the core of any profession. If you cannot master the skills of reading something, understanding it, and applying it after you have analyzed it, then you failed the aim of that assignment or the aim of that subject. So it's very important that while some questions might seem unnecessary or they might seem difficult, all this is done to prepare you for the profession. So you need to learn to understand something, to analyze it, and then apply the knowledge that you've just gained. And this is basically what the assignment is all about. Now, what are some of the warnings? Like I said at the beginning in the overview, we have included some cautions or some warnings to students. First of all, it is tempting to ask someone to do your assignment for you, but this will reflect in the exam. Most of the time, it's very easy for me as a tutor to pick up when students did not do their own assignments. They did not do their own assignments and hence will do poorly in the exam. So as much as it is very easy or tempting to ask somebody else to do your assignment, it will count against you in the exam, because seemingly very simple questions of application of the theory, you will not be able to answer. Secondly, if you do your own assignment, you are familiar with the content. That means if a question on application comes up, you will know how to answer that question because you've read the content. Sometimes students memorize information, and when the question is put to them, they have no way of answering it because they did not do the application of that question or that topic in the assignment. And this is the beauty of doing your own assignment. You get to learn, sometimes even from your mistakes. Like I said, if someone else did your assignment, it's evident because 90% of the content will be from the internet. The other thing that we found that why students do poorly in the exam is because they don't manage their time. They do their assignment probably a day before submission, the date of submission. And how do we tell? First of all, you cannot do an assignment in 1 day or 2 days. You need time to plan your assignment. You need time to read up on the information. You need time to be able to apply what you are being asked. Because sometimes the guide has content in the sense that it has theory. And what you are asking the assignment sometimes to do is to do the application. And what you find is students copying and pasting and hence losing marks. So for you to do a proper assignment, you need to plan the timing of your assignment. When do you start it? When do you end it? The other thing is, one of the reasons why we see that students are not managing their time when it comes to the exam is that students scratch. The assignment is so scratched so many times, the students writing the questions over and over again. Because they do not have time to write neatly on a different page, they simply keep scratching. So the assignment is very untidy. So if you don't follow the steps of doing an assignment, as I will highlight a bit later on, you will do poorly in the assignment. And remember, the assignment counts 40% of your marks, your overall marks. How serious you are about your studies is reflected in how much time you spend doing your assignment. I know we have a lot of commitment, but if you don't spend time with your assignment, it also reflects on me, the tutor who's marking your assignment, that you really are not well invested in your studies. Hence, it's very difficult for me as a tutor marking your assignment to try and get your marks just to push you. There are just no marks. There's no way I can find those marks. The things are scratched. It's copy and paste from the internet. There's nothing from the guide. It's very difficult to find marks to allow students to qualify for the exam. So planning and time management are intertwined when you do your assignment. You need to plan and you need time to do your assignment. So put time aside every week to do your assignment one step at a time. You can divide the task. Maybe question 1, you say 2 days. Question 2, maybe 3 or 4 days. But you need to be able to divide it in small pieces so that you do a proper piece of work. Some of the examples of poor assignments by students contain the following. The assignment is handwritten in 2 or more different ink pens. And I've often contemplated about deducting marks for students who write the assignment, one assignment by one student in 2 or 3 different color ink pens. One is blue, usually one is blue, and the other ink is black. One assignment. It's very unprofessional, it's very discouraging, and you've been warned, I will deduct marks. If you write in 2 different pens, ink pens, the same assignment if it's handwritten. So if you are going to do your assignment with a blue ink pen, please do it in blue ink. If it's black, stick to black. The other example of a poor assignment is when the assignment is written in both bold, italic, and normal font without any consistency. There is no uniformity. One sentence can have a bold and an italic and a normal font. Another thing is the assignment paragraphs are written in both capital and small letters. These are typed assignments, capital and small letters, and there is no uniformity. So maybe the heading could be in capital letter and the rest can be in small letter. Or if you want, the whole assignment is in capital letter, or the whole assignment is small letters. But the practice of writing in both small and capital letters without uniformity it's a sign of a bad, unplanned assignment. The next two examples of poor assignments is that the assignment is written on 2 or more different texture papers. One piece of paper has lines, the other one is just a blank white paper on which the student wrote the same assignment. The other example is that the paper on which the assignment is written is cut with a scissor, I assume it's a scissor, on the side. And so the paper looks abnormal. But the student has handed this in as an assignment to be marked. Lastly, the assignment questions are not in chronological order. Question 2.2. The first question is just an example, 3.4 followed by 2.2. Or question 1.6 followed by 1.4. Or the student will write a note, please see question 1.4 on page 8. Or at the end of the assignment. It's a sign that because the student did not plan and did the assignment at the last minute, they don't have time to write the assignment properly. So the question that's supposed to be at the beginning, the answers that are supposed to be in the beginning are at the end of the question paper. Please refrain from doing that. So what are steps? I've just included these steps, but if you go on the internet, you should be able to find steps that are more or less what is here. So familiarize yourself with the guide. You need to go through your guide and see what topics are being covered. Understand the topics. And I will explain later why it's very important for you to understand the topics, because students are mixing up concepts. Understand the general instructions of the assignment. If it's out of 15, if a question is out of 15, look at why is it out of 15. Is it 15 facts that you need to mention? Or is it 2 facts that you need to explain? And so students get mixed up with this. Understand specific instructions. Some questions have specific instructions. They are overall general instructions, but there are specific instructions in each question. Do your research, consult the guide and other sources of information that you can find, but you need to include the guide, content from the guide. Take notes, gather the information before you start writing the final assignment. Gather your information. Plan how you write the information. Structure your assignment. When you do write the assignment, get someone to proofread it. Ask someone to go through your assignment to see if it's okay. There's nothing wrong with asking for help from someone that you might regard that person as better understanding, or someone who's gone through the course. And then submit the assignment on time. So once again, just like in previous contact classes, we always look at the verbs used in the assignment. And we found that students don't read page 7 of the study guide. Therefore, they do not understand the verbs that are used in the assignment, and therefore they lose marks. So please go through those verbs and understand them so that you are guided on how to answer questions. So some of the verbs that we've used is outline, explain, define, describe, and list. So just go through the guide and read up on what each of those verbs mean. It's very important that you look at the technical aspects. And since the last year, we've included marks for technical aspects, because we've discovered that students overlook technical aspects, and there's no way as an academic student you can overlook technical aspects. So your assignment should have a cover page, a table of content, an introduction, a conclusion, and a list of references. So general instructions, pay attention to technical aspects. Type. If you're going to type or handwrite your assignment, do it on one side of the page. Please do not write on both sides, because it makes it difficult to mark. Staple separate pages of the assignment in the left top corner. No multiple staples of assignments. Please pay attention to these small details. Clearly mark page numbers of the assignments. Sometimes we get assignments that are not that do not indicate page numbers. It's just a bunch of papers, and it's very important that you indicate the page numbers, because should anything happen and your assignment get misplaced, we know which pages are missing. Clearly number the questions and subsections. Like I said, please do not have time so that you can plan and write and number your questions properly. Question 1, 2, and so forth in chronological order. Answer all questions. There are no optional questions in the assignment. Read the questions, consult the relevant unit topic in the study guide, and if necessary, provide examples in answering your questions. But always look at the mark allocation. Please do not copy and paste the module guide. You will be deducted for plagiarism. Remember the assignment due dates and cite sources of your information. Your reference should have sources. If you copied from the guide, if you got your information from the guide, please cite the guide. If you used other sources also in addition to the guide, please cite them. So, in conclusion, this presentation is a guide on how to approach the assignment. It's very important that you look at the technical aspects. Do not copy and paste. Now, I don't know how to emphasize copying and pasting in a way that students are cautious. If you copy and paste an academic text without mentioning the author, it's academic theft. You are stealing somebody's thoughts because you have not acknowledged them. So when you use anybody's thoughts, reference them. Because many times we have students that just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, without acknowledging the authors. Do your own assignment to help you prepare for the exam. Spend time on your assignment. Remember, you reap what you sow. If you don't plow, no crops grow. And if no crops grow, you don't harvest. Now, I've had students calling to ask why they did not get marks when they are supposed to. Please, you can only reap where you have sowed. So you need to do a good job with your assignment to ensure that you get enough marks to qualify for the exam. You need to familiarize yourself with the guide. You need to understand the topics. And one of the things that we need to point out when it comes to understanding of the topics is the fact that students are mixing up topics. Professional development, community development. Those are two different aspects, but you see students mixing them up. So it's very important that you understand the different topics covered within professional and community development. Code of conduct. Conduct of teachers. So it's very important that you familiarize, because the questions are based on application of the content. Yes, most of it is theory based, but if we were to ask only theory, that's just copy and paste. In order for us to measure your understanding, we need to ask for the application of those theories. And this is many times where students are failing, because you memorize without understanding the content. So it's very important that you take time, familiarize yourself with the content, so that you are able to answer questions in whatever form they come. And so that's it for the assignment. Remember that your primary source of information, like I've mentioned before, is the guide. So please, you can use other sources of information only after you've used the guide. And please be careful of plagiarism. I wish you all the best for exam, and I look forward to marking some very exciting writings from you.